With the circle heading all the way up towards that northern edge of the map, so much water still in play. The winner of this engagement between S2G and DXavier gets a nice little branching point outwards the rest of the map. But last time we seen this went off, both times in fact, both teams did take some casualties from this position.
I think maximum 2 players escaped per team out of this engagement. A forwards position being taken up right now for DXavier, a little bit more aggressive towards that S2G position. You can see Lamborghini trying to find something, the rest of them playing that backstop line. There have been third parties onto this area before as well. Loop's pretty close by with Mythic as their outpost. Titan probably going to be moving north from Quarry fairly soon. You've also got Yudo Alliance, who have gone to the east side of this Paradise Resort position before on the Sandbox that we've seen, but with the circle as it is, the dynamics are going to change a little bit. Paradise Resort, whilst it's a good launching point, isn't that central. It is to be a sanctuary, I'm sure, for at least one team moving forward, but areas near Tapmok, those hills to the north, a little bit more priority for a couple of these teams moving through.
Yeah, it's sort of nice in a way for S2G as well as DXavier in the sense that all the teams that are surrounding them, like Titans, Yudo Alliance, Donkshan Red Force, Loops, are all teams that I would personally say wouldn't go for this engagement over towards Paradise Resort. Yudo Alliance, they prefer to stay out of the commotion until much later in the game. Titans understand they need to keep putting up consistent points today, so going out early on Sandhawk, that's not the ideal play. Loops have been trying to find their footing on this mountainous terrain of PMGC quite a few times, but just has not tied the rope in just yet to able to lock themselves into those railings. And lastly, Nongshan Red Force, central team, they've already got it in count, they're going to hold on to it.
A good central spot for them as well. Likely that a team will rock up to that east side of it. Obviously that lumberyard that sits down to the south, Tapmok, is a little bit more central in terms of the landmass, but in terms of the actual circle right now, Cal, you're right, is close to that center area. We'll have to see which part of this land the circle goes to next, because with such a dramatic north shift cutting out probably about 50% of this current circle, teams are going to have to make compromises in terms of their positional holding, in terms of their rotation paths as well. It's going to be a little bit more jam-packed with traffic in their way, and they've just met the rush hour, so they do not want to come into too much conflict too early, or if they do, they want to finish it quickly.
6-8. Moving over on that northwest edge, straight through Loops' compounds. All 3 players jump out the vehicle. Mythic first to face here, takes a bunch of damage, but there is a lot of firepower coming back here from Loops themselves. 33Z does go down, just 1 player still up and kicking with the DPS. Goes in through the window, and it's too easy here for Mythic.
Popping in through that window, the vault is there, but 628 falter in their final Sandhawk hero. Last to stand for them. I would be very surprised if he goes in and continues this engagement. He's in a position where he's going to be safe for the next 2 phases. However, these placement points are not going to come quickly. They're not going to come easily. And maybe he just wants to get a little bit more on the elimination count to secure a slightly higher placing, because this team from China has not been performing to the level that we come to expect from them, from their group stage, from their performances over in PEL.
Yeah, they're properly aggro team, right? They're so aggressive. It's a little bit silly the way they play, and it worked out in their group stage, mainly because a lot of teams couldn't handle the firepower, the force bearing down on them. But it's the teams here, strong like Atlas, able to hold on. IHC, though, getting the cheers from the crowd as they take down Alpha 7.
Another nade over the top. They're looking for the rares, sticking it. Could be important here. Mafioso back up, and the nade is there. It's right on top of Revo. Is he going to go down? No. He evades it. A dash across from Mafioso to get some new cover now. And Alpha 7 looking to keep themselves up as 4. A good bouncer and a follow-up nade as well might be able to do the trick. Revo in danger, but he's able to weather it yet again. Popping that first aid off, and now Alpha 7 have the chance to take the momentum of this fight back into control. Ziol rolling around now, trying to get an off angle. Godless spotted in the smoke by Senab. Mafioso forwards, Revo with him, and they are surviving blank for Alpha 7.
Holding on by a thread at this point in time. Gets a heal through too, stitching up the wounds in the process. Nice stuff from Alpha 7. Hang on here. Ziol in the distance behind the hillside. I can't believe that Alpha 7's been able to actually hang on this long in this engagement, but IHC, they lose one in Godless. Alex is there to get him back up on his feet.
Revo holding his nerve behind the rock has been able to bring it out now against IHC. In comes the crash. Alpha 7 moving 2 forwards. They left 2 on the backstop to handle Ziol and Demo, but Carrillo has the DBS around the door frame. He's taken both of them low. Now they just need to put the final blow through, and IHC get the trade. Senab is there, Carrillo is down, and both of Alpha 7 have fallen in that engagement. Are they going to be looking for the reses, or are they going to try and confirm the flushes with Godless? The first falls, the first flush is confirmed. Senab is still there. Ziol pulls back, and IHC looking to take Brazil downtown.
Is the worst team, the last team that you want to get yourself into a fight with. Because IHC, they know the golden rule. You don't talk about Fight Club, and Fight Club is very much situated on the east side of the map at the moment.
What have Alpha 7 got in the back pocket with 2? On this northern side, there's a chance that they can get further, but they'll have to fight through IHC, a demonic force to be certain. The team from Mongolia currently in 3rd place, and the crowd might be cheering for Alpha 7's demise, but IHC just as much of a threat to S2G's position at the top. I think there's a bit of bad blood here, because Mafioso is ringing it out towards Godless. Won't be for long, though, because Demo has the shot, has the shutdown. And cacophonous applause to Alpha 7's falling.
IHC has some of the most entertaining gameplay we have seen in a PMGC in a long, long time. 21 placement points they started out with today. They have the same placement points as Procedure Evos in 13th place, yet stand tall right now in 3rd place. At the top of the lobby, standing proud with their gun skill, the ammo falling around them.
Major Pride have managed to get themselves into a fairly strong high ground compound here on the coast side, Blank, close to Stalwart, who weren't able to stop them getting in. Neither were FaZe. So Major Pride with this area under control a little bit. Going to be a force to be reckoned with on this west side, but Stalwart sitting in the foothills underneath them, going to slow their roll when it comes to leaving this area.
Yeah, for FaZe, honestly, from this type of position where Major Pride is sat, you need to, as FaZe, either go for a little loop-de-loop up towards Cow side, or you go for the very aggressive push up towards Major Pride's compound. There is a possibility to make that one happen. As you come up the hill, you deny sight lines, you can get up there. A lot of times, that is a possibility to take the fight. And I think for FaZe, who are, to be honest with you, fairly decent at taking engagements. They're currently 7th place. They're not doing too badly at all in the grand scheme of things. They can take those fights with other teams. Major Pride certainly needs to be careful of that aggressive push pulling up towards their spot. Stalwart on your screens right now, over towards the western side. A team that has now had a door open up for them. Alpha 7 out in 15th place, which is extremely surprising considering this is the team that's taken 1st place 2 days running.
But if you're going to go down to a team, I mean, it's most likely IHC, right? These guys are brutal in the fight, and they demonstrated that against Alpha 7. For a minute, it looked like Alpha 7 were going to take command of that engagement, but both of them going down with a nice breakout wide from IHC was good news for them. And they've racked up those 4 points. They've pushed up to that 100-point mark now, Blank, with those 4 elimination points that they've been able to accrue. And now they're 15 points behind Alpha 7. So the chase is very much on for them, for DXavier, for Stalwart, down to, as the desk highlighted, the top 6. They're really in that main contest right now for that top spot, with Weibo Gaming bringing up the rear there on the 89 points that they've gotten so far. Currently sat on the southeast side, a little bit to the east of Paradise Resort, which is still occupied on the east by DXavier.
It is slightly concerning. Maybe not for Mongolian fans, they're probably hugely happy about it, but certainly for the other teams in the lobby, that there is 3 Mongolian squads clearly at the top of the lobby right now. IHC, Stalwart, 4 and V all doing fantastically well for themselves and their home region. Real flashbacks to Zeus back in the day, except now it's 3 of them, apparently. Really developing some unbelievable talent over in that region.
Zeus had a lot of kids, you know, and apparently he has developed that family over in Mongolia to be such a powerhouse. Look at that, 3-4-5, the flags lining up. It's nice. It's nice to see. Expecting more from this region in 2024.
But what if the first, second, and third place?
Oh, that would be something, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I think we would be going to Mongolia next year for BMGC.
We'll cancel that.
Scrap UK.
I mean, I only have to get a train if it's in London or one of the other major cities of the UK. But I have to get on the plane. You're right.
I could see it. I could understand it if that was the case.
Uh-oh.
IHC though. I mean, they've had their first initial engagement. Sort of makes sense that, you know, they get the beast out of them. And then get taken down by another team. Nongshan Red Force versus Godless, who has had a very lovely run yesterday. They will be taken out in third place. Only 4 eliminations on the match. Not enough to catch up to DX Xavier.
But it certainly closes the gap. And the crowd flips on a dime for cheering for IHC's demise after they take down Alpha 7. And to be honest, that's probably one of the better situations for S2G fans in the audience. Because, of course, now that's 2 teams that they're going to be less worried about this match. We'll see if they can go the distance. Because the Circle has given them a little bit of their blessing so far. But it's still going to be a very hard-fought victory for them should they be looking for that chicken dinner. DX Xavier, they've got company on the south side of Paradise Resort now. Blanking Pasija Evos, who have managed to find their way on through. Pasija Evos playing with 3, though. So a little bit down in force. They've lost Luxie already. They were not so fortunate as to keep that one together with Titan out to their west as well. It's going to be a little bit tricky to get through on past Paradise Resort.
Yeah, that position's a bit awkward right now. The Rocks over towards the western side. I mean, DX Xavier will be leaving. S2G took their chances. They took the northwest side of Paradise, held in that building, expected DX Xavier to move a little bit sooner, but instead they just say, you know what, this is not worth it anymore. Let's move out towards that western compound alongside the road. It's actually a very good compound to play around. Right now, Loops have a good spot as well on the other side of the road, but it is Nongshan Red Force with that hefty cluster of buildings to keep them very safe for a very long time. My big players in this match at the moment. On our screens, though, it's going down between FaZe and Major Pride. Expect this to happen sooner or later. Nice initial shot with the DBS.
Looking for more through the smoke. Ventores can't quite find the last shot there. Does finally put it to bed. And Major Pride will fall down 13th place. Not going to be able to do anything in this match. And that might draw any hopes of them getting towards the top to a close with their first match going poorly. Pasija Evos still as 3. Having to hold out for MV right now, who are approaching on the south side. Lynx with the first crack at it. Apex is behind the rock, and I think he knows it. They're going to be aware of each other's position. East, a lot closer by. It was East and Doc who were really standing tall for 4MV yesterday. And hopefully they can pull it back together here. Doc making his way out of the blue. Morph over on the east side. They've taken the knock onto Rocky, but they've got the smoke cover there that's just about to fade. Now they've got the rocks to cover them off. They'll try and stay as 4. As Yudo Alliance have got a cheeky little angle, and Weibo Gaming down to the south side of them as well. Going to slow them up on their approach to the west, because the circle has gone all the way north, Blank. It's only encircling Loops and Nongshan Red Force.
Yudo Alliance, backstab from behind here. Pepenk starts things off. Beside the rest of his squad, Pasija Evos going to rattle on through. They hear the fighting over towards that eastern side, but there is S2G taking a shot over towards Stalwart. On the outside of the blue, should be a possible res here for Stalwart though. But S2G's got a great spot to just start taking shots at a lot of different teams down towards the west and the east. Good nade there from Cluck though, dear me.
Yudo Alliance will suffer to the S12K there. Yoru able to empty the magazine and looks for the flush with it as well. Another player further over the hill for Yudo Alliance, and they are split up now, a 1-1 for them. Loops have been doing bits over in Tapmock in the meantime, Blank in that area. Stalwart continue to be suppressed. Yoru forced out of position on the rock as Iftar launches a Molotov to it. Repositions, gets the healing done, and the regroup for Yudo Alliance can start to come through. Might even be able to enact the res.
Drive-by Molotov. I like that a lot. Here's East versus Titans. There is shots coming through from his side though. That's 97 here. Supporting his teammate, but a nice double knockdown. onto East and Doc. The two main players in that squad, the Xavier hungry animals underneath, waiting for the scraps to come through that they can pick up towards the end. Stalwart still taking knocks here, but as are S2G.
Oh, it's going back and forth over there, and Razy down and out in the blue. Flush is coming through, and it looks like Stalwart are a little bit more cohesive in their position. Again, up north, you have to move. Xavier starting to extend there, and they could third party this engagement between Stalwart and S2G. Stalwart still with all four players alive. S2G down to 2 firm, and there's another knock sent over to Hamzy G. Kelsey trying to keep things together for them, but he's low already. Has to make his way forwards, and that is curtains for S2G on their Sandhawk. Stalwart fighting now. 6 eliminations blank. They want to push up towards the top of the tables, but they're right next door to Xavier, who want to do exactly the same.
Paragin in a really awkward spot here, crossing the road. For Xavier, this is a difficult one. For Stalwart, I like the play they made. It is difficult to make your way through whilst S2G is taking shots at you, but the mistake that S2G made was just focusing way too much on harassing teams surrounding them, as opposed to playing the main game, which is getting in the circle and being number 1.
We're looking at really 2 of this chasing pack as Wakeboard Gaming do go down. Xavier, Stalwart, south side fight to decide who gets that crack towards the circle. Loop's pretty happy with this one, all things considered. 5 eliminations at the cost of a player. Top into a scrap. Has to hop back into the vehicle as action is very low as well as Icy. And they move on forwards, trying to keep themselves together. I think there is a knock on side for Stalwart as they try and make their way into the lumberyard to a volley of ammo sent their way. Loop's not going to allow them in. Entry denied for Stalwart.
Man, what a nice little play there coming through from Lamborghini. He'd been up there that whole time waiting for a movement like that to come through. And Xavier survive a bit longer. For them, this is a great game, honestly, overall. 5 eliminations found, securing their position. Still potential for more. They would have to wrap up towards Nongshim Red Force, who have that excellent compound cover available. But Lamborghini, on a streak yesterday, looking to put some more work in today, clocking in nice and early.
Nongshim Red Force have the circle now, the compound out to the east, a stronghold for them. The teams on the south and the northeast, Xavier and Udo Alliance going to have to move their way. Pasija Evos having to move south. And really the secondary battle here between FaZe and Loops to take the east side of the lumberyard, to try and control that area on the west side of this circle. FaZe playing with 3 players, as are Loops, so it's even Stevens there, but Xavier might have a third-party angle from the top of the hill.
FaZe now in position, do have to push through. Loops ahead of them. Difficult task, but certainly possible with the way Loops has been playing recently. Just not up to scratch at all. Xavier playing the same game that Stalwart could have done. Stalwart were looking for a chicken dinner here, and they took their chances with a crash over into Lumber. Didn't work out. Nice Molotov there from Cardozin, but do have a cheeky insertion on the eastern side here in Mormon.
Mormon tries to get through, but he's been spotted from some direction or another. Loops going to be aware of this. Mythic cooking the nades, as is Ayala, but a knock through the cage at the back of the truck there really heads up, and the push can come through. This is the third party I was talking about from Xavier to maybe take a shot out their way, and Loops not able to stand up in the face of FaZe, seemingly. That's 2 knocks. Cardozo and Ayala both down, looking to try and trade, but around the side of this tire, looking to slow FaZe down. They've taken a knock, they've taken a second. 1 player from Loops is all it's going to take, but there's a third party, and both of them are wiped out. That gives Pasija Evos the chance to take the east side.
Cardozin holding on right at the end there. Fingers and palms thoroughly burnt by the rope that he was hanging to. Really difficult ending for him, but you know what? Gets Loops a little bit further, making up for past woes in earlier games. Xavier attempting to go from hard cover to hard cover. Difficult though from the position they're currently in. They're able to get at least 2 players down here. CG Evos, they make a send for Lumber, quickly ripped to pieces.
Only that one elimination point. Yudu Alliance mounting their assault onto the side of the Nongshim Red Force hold. They go straight on through. Flax has managed to get on into a building there, but I don't think that's going to last long. DXavier taking the opportunity to move now as well. Try and get down with the players that they have remaining. Two of them up and active. They'll need a res to get back into it. Yudu Alliance playing with two as Nongshim Red Force have taken a knock. It's a 2 versus 3. Olio low, trying to get across here, but thinks better of it. Doesn't want to get out into the open just yet. XZY looking to try and take down the remaining player of Yudu Alliance as they are just down to 1. Paragen's out of it, but Yudu Alliance are out of it first. DXavier play on with 2.
There's a chance now, but Nongshim Red Force down to 3, but no flush came through. And they're up to the building now. And Levi's got 2 nades. Start sending them in. The blue will push in Nongshim Red Force towards the boys from DX. DX equally have to leave. Nice shot from Lamborghini on the side inside the blue. A 2v3 now begins to ensue.
They got the shot under the stilts as well, and Lamborghini up to the building. The Molotov to send him off the cover, and a close range push. Levi steps out wide, and he gets completely torn to pieces. Lamborghini's next, and it's Nongshim Red Force. From the center of their compound, they held strong. And the South Korean team with a chicken dinner on the final Sanok of the grand final stage.
It's nice to see that pan out as well, because honestly, you think back to what Max was talking about on that start of the second day, which is a case of Nongshim Red Force, they want the center of the circle, right? However, they weren't able to get it over this past day, just purely because so many other teams were there much quicker than them. They're given the center at the start of the game, purely by chance. They're able to do so much with that. And it just shows you that they are a good team, but those rotations, the fights to acquire those compounds, that's what's lacking on this side. And it's not something that you can be lacking here at PMGC.
Certainly not. Given the opportunity, they know how to play it, but you've got to have more in the back pocket. You've got to have a little bit more versatility to be able to bring to the table if you want to take that top spot. However, that will see them a lot further up the tables. We also saw DXavier getting in late to that match blank. That's going to be great for their chase for the top spots. Towards the top of the tables. Remember, they are one of the few teams. Sorry?